you want an exposure to a market or an
Everything they need in one place.
Be the world's foremost authority on
Individuals, advisors and institutions.
I'm Holly Cook and I'm here at the Morningstar Investment Conference where we've just heard from Paul Mason, economics editor of Channel 4 News, and he's been rounding up the political and economic climate for us. So, Paul, we're only a few days from the election and we voted in a majority Conservative government. Can you summarise for us in a nutshell what exactly happened there?
What I think happened is that the election started off about austerity, the NHS, economic policy, jobs. These are the issues the three parties were fighting each other on over what we normally call the centre ground. But as the impact of the Scottish referendum then basically impacted onto British electoral politics, and people realised there was a good chance that the Scots Nats would wipe out Labour, leaving Labour only the option of a kind of covert deal with the Scots Nats to govern. We think we saw a sort of shy and unannounced rise of English nationalism. And maybe for one time only, we don't know what will happen in future elections, some Lib Dems and some UKIP people lent their votes to the Conservatives. Some Labour people didn't turn out and Labour lost, much worse than it thought it would do.
Of course, we always say that the economy is not the stock market. They do not go sort of hand in hand in every direction. But of course, the two are interrelated. And one thing that the stock market hates more than anything is uncertainty. Yeah. What would you say are the main uncertainties now going forward?
Well, I think there's one strong certainty. We can now predict, maybe for 5 and possibly 10 years, what the investment climate in Britain will be, what its attitude to carbon will be, what its attitude to infrastructure spend will be, which regions it would like investment to go into. So those are the positive things. The big uncertainty is Brexit. We've now got a government, maybe a third of the cabinet want to leave already. We've got a press that was very adept at driving sentiment during the Scottish referendum and during the election. Now we'll be driving it in a way that many business people will be wondering whether we want the outcome. On top of that, we've got the Scottish issue. I covered the Scottish referendum. I've covered this election. I think big national sentiment among the young is overwhelmingly towards either total fiscal autonomy or separation. And I think the British economy won't be the British economy if that happens. So the investors will be looking at that quite closely, I think.
So given that those are the uncertainties, but of course we have now got a government that is known to be very business friendly. So do you think that that means that the sort of outlook in terms of the business sentiment is one of positivity?
There's inevitably going to be positivity on the business sentiment, but then the problem remains, Britain remains a very a kind of quite sick economy. It is, for all the job creation, productivity is really low. We have a huge trade deficit. We did not rebalance. Obviously investment, i.e. business investment, came back on the back, I would argue, of quite a lot of government spending on infrastructure. But look, it's not the worst economy in the world. The economic story is a story that economic management can cope with, but it's as they're not headwinds, they're crosswinds of political uncertainty, of Brexit, of what happens to the EU, what happens in the French general election, and then the whole issue of Scotland. For investors, they're going to have to weigh up this benign, as it were, macroeconomic issue against the highly uncertain macro political issue.
Paul, thanks very much for summing that up for us.
Our pleasure.
For Morningstar, I'm Holly Cook. Thanks for watching.